How do you deal with failures?
Speaking to people, learning from my wife, reading books has given me so many inputs. And if we can accept that we are going to fail and not aim for perfection each time, but just to show up and to keep improving.
And how do you really uh, make sure that you live your passion?
So one top of the list would be spending time with my family.
All right. So, what is that one message that you'd like to give the youngsters today to still stay away from when they are joining the corporate?
That कहते हैं अगर किसी चीज को दिल से चाहो अगर किसी चीज को दिल से चाहो तो पूरी कायनात उसे तुमसे मिलाने की कोशिश में लगा है.
Welcome to Beyond the PPTs, a podcast where we go beyond slides, buzzwords, and textbook theories to explore the real world of learning and development, leadership, workplace growth, and professional transformation. I'm Anand Shankar, a learning and development professional with over 15 years of experience working with organizations across industries and geographies. Through this podcast, I bring you honest conversations with L&D leaders, trainers, coaches, HR professionals, and industry experts who share real life experiences, practical insights, success stories, failures, and lessons that truly matter in today's world. Whether you're a student, working professional, manager, trainer, or someone passionate about growth and people development, this podcast is designed to give you actionable takeaways that go far beyond presentations and corporate jargon. So sit back, tune in, and let's go beyond the PPTs. Now, today, I have a very special guest because it's my first podcast and his too. We both have common first names, which is Anand. So, welcoming Anand Sreedhar, who is a sales professional turned corporate trainer, facilitator, and storyteller with over 20 years of corporate experience, including 17 years with Axis Bank. Since 2018, he has worked as an independent trainer specializing in leadership, communication, sales, mindset, and human connection. Known for his warm, story first approach and emotionally honest reflections, Anand draws from his own journey of overcoming extreme shyness, self doubt, and personal struggles to inspire people to find their voice and grow with authenticity. My hearty welcome to you, Anand Sreedhar.
Thank you so much, Anand. That was just a wonderful introduction. And yes, I'm super excited to be here as much as you are. It's a first for both of us. Both our names are the same. You're from Calcutta. You stay in Calcutta. And I've been born in Calcutta. So a lot of connections. Yes.
And we both are Cancerians too. You are 9th of July.
We both are Cancerians. Absolutely.
Sure. I think there are a lot of unsettling similarities, I must say. But the fun part is that we are still together on this particular podcast. So, Anand, very briefly, if you could share your struggles, where you began, and how you kind of, ventured into where you were from and where you are today, right? And of course, we'll be talking about the book and your passions, etc., as we move along. So, yeah, over to you, Anand.
Yeah. So growing up, right up to the age of around 20 years, I was extremely shy, introverted, had self-esteem, low self-esteem issues, low self-confidence. And outwardly, I looked like this very cool person, very calm, very reserved. So people, even my parents didn't realize what was going on inside me. And we lived in a joint family, a wonderful family. And for around 25 years of our life, till around the year 2000, we were in a joint family in Chembur. And those bonds are still so strong. But the point is that there was turmoil inside me. And outwardly, this guy is very cool and very reserved. But I had very few friends in school. I was invisible. I had, some issues with which due to which my confidence was very low. And when I was around 19, 20 years old, I realized that now that my education, life is the academic life is just going to get completed, and I'm going to probably move into the corporate world. That world is not going to be as nurturing or inclusive as the family is or your friends are. And I was kind of a little anxious as to how I would face the corporate world because I couldn't communicate at all. I mean, I used to, for example, even in school, just when the attendance, the teacher, you have to say present ma'am or present sir, it used to create so much anxiety in me. The entire process of just saying present ma'am or present sir used to be such a big deal for me. And so you can imagine what I was going through. I was quite a complex child that way, I think, in terms of what was going on in my head. And then, of course, I met somebody whom I will talk about. I've spoken about him a lot in my book, so I don't want to talk about it too much. Now, I would want people to read the book, where we will, and it's my first ever book, so we will speak about that. But yes, I did seek help from people who could help me, and actually, I really thank the universe that I chose to seek help at the right time with the right people, and I was able to deal with all my challenges in some way.
Very
Yes.
nice. And thank you so much for sharing that. Um, I'm very curious, from being an introverted self to becoming a facilitator, which takes a lot of inner strength and the extroversion that is required. I'm quite curious, and this is a message that I want to set for the new generation that's trying to seek help, and that's trying to kind of get into the corporate ranks. So, how and what did you do to kind of, move from where you were to where you are today?
It's really a nice question, Anand, because when I went, I first approached a gentleman called Mr. Gerald Dicona, and we all call him Jerry Sir. And he used to run a public speaking course during the summer holidays. And I knew him because he used to also teach accounts. And I used to go to him when I was in, I think, second year BCom or something like that. And so I knew that in the summer holidays, he does this. But Anand, if somebody had told me at that time that several years down the line, you would be in a leadership role in sales in a very large private sector bank, I would never have believed it, because there were so many myths about sales that I thought sales could only be done by extrovertish people, by people who talk a lot. And so there was never an option. Second is, if somebody had said that I would be a corporate facilitator speaking the whole day, or at least engaging with people the whole day.
This is interesting. So, all right. So, if you could tell me, uh, if you have two very strong messages for the youth today, whether it is Gen Alpha, Gen Beta, whatever generation that we are at today, what are the two very strong messages that you'd like to give them? Because today, despite having a degree, people struggle.
So Anand, the message that I would like to give is actually from a movie of Shah Rukh Khan, and I am a huge Shah Rukh Khan fan. And the movie is Om Shanti Om, and in that there is a dialogue. I am not going to say the full dialogue, but it says that कहते हैं, अगर किसी चीज को दिल से चाहो, अगर किसी चीज को दिल से चाहो, तो पूरी कायनात उसे तुमसे मिलाने की कोशिश में लग जाती है. So for people who don't understand Hindi, I just like to translate it. Is that if you really, really want something, you want to manifest something in your life, then the entire universe starts working for you to get that thing to you, whatever it may be. And so my message to anybody is to just have the trust in the universe, in the process, and just focus on what you need to do to put in the work. So that's my message to anybody.
Very interesting. Um, quick question, and it has to be a very short answer, Anand, wherein, how do you deal with failures?
I used to deal with failures very badly, Anand. I used to get bogged down by failures. I used to really feel bad about it. I used to actually complain and blame the situation, blame someone else, except me. But over the years, speaking to people, learning from my wife, reading books has given me so many inputs that I realized that we need to accept failure, because all of us are going to fail at some point in time. Whoever you are, the greatest person in the world would have definitely failed several times. And if we can accept that we are going to fail and not aim for perfection each time, but just to show up and to keep improving, I think you're in the right direction.
So your ardent fandom, I mean, fan boy thing came out, wherein you want to be more of Shah Rukh Khan than being Amir Khan, which is like, being the perfectionist. But this is very interesting, Anand. Uh, what drives you? What's your passion? I mean, and how do you really make sure that you live your passion?
Again, beautiful question, Anand. So I'm not going to talk about my work because, of course, facilitation and training is my passion. But other than out of those things, I have quite a few things that I really love doing. So one top of the list would be spending time with my family. my close ones. So my wife Aruna, my daughter Navya, my son Nirvan, and my third child or our third child are Indi, Nico. My mom and my brothers and my their wives and so on. So I'd love to spend as much time as possible with them and friends, of course. I love playing sport. So all my life I've grown up playing sport, either cricket or badminton or football or anything like that. So whenever I get an opportunity, even now, whenever I get an opportunity, I wouldn't leave it. I would go and play cricket with my son or somebody, or I would play badminton. Of course, because of my age and the stamina, I'm not able to play singles. I'll play doubles, but I love sport. So that is one of my passions. Traveling is again a passion for all of us in the family. So we try and go out somewhere. And usually we love the jungles of India. Of course, the bucket list is the Serengeti in Africa or the Masai Mara. But I love the forests in India, especially the south of India. I just love it. The Karnataka range, the
Oh,
Bandipur
yes, yes, yes.
range, and Nagarhole. So we've been all of those places. And so also for me or for us, spotting a tiger is not the objective. That's a bonus. Uh, that's a bonus. That's a bonus. We just love the smell of the forest, the silence, and the chirping of
Yeah.
the birds and the sound of the animals.
The entire
So
ambience is like very, very, very
yes,
different from what we have growing up in Kolkata or in Mumbai. So I'm
yes.
very sure. So
Yeah. I
Anand,
love reading books also. I'll just add one thing. I love reading books also. We'll
oh,
talk
what
about
kind
that
of books
later,
do you
but I
like
love reading.
reading? And what are some recommendations that you have for our young generation of people? And adding to that, it's very crucial and important for us to know about your book that you've written. A little flavor.
Yes. So first, let me say that I've been a voracious reader right from childhood. I just loved books, and earlier on it was fiction. So one of the books that I really remember in fiction when I was a kid was this book by Sidney Sheldon, which the title was "If Tomorrow Comes,"
Yeah, yeah.
and the
I've read it.
protagonist was yes, and I've read it so many times, and I think I would have been some 16, 17 years old. And the protagonist, the heroine of that book, is a woman called Tracy Whitney,
Yeah.
and I was in love with her for so many months. I think absolutely, I was completely because the way Sidney Sheldon had described her in
Portrayed
the
the
book. Oh my
character.
God,
I know.
portrayed her character was amazing. So I've read a lot of fiction. So Robert Ludlum and Ken Follett and all of these guys are some of my favorites. In fact, The Godfather by Mario Puzo is again one of my favorites. But over the years now, I'm moving on to maybe history. I love history, so I read up on history. I've read the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. Of course, they are epics. And so I read that and I read so anything that interests me. So two books that I really like to recommend and that have had a significant impact on my life. The one is The Secret by Rhonda Grimes.
Inspiring.
So I read this sometime I think in 2010 or so, if I'm not mistaken, and it's actually significantly impacted my life in a very positive manner in the way I think. And the other book that I would recommend is something for the way we are living in today's world. Not in harmony with the environment. So there's this book called My Ishmael by Daniel Quinn, and I would hugely recommend it for people who really want to know that there is a better way of living than the way that we're living currently. And I'm not talking about just you and me and here in India. I'm talking about globally, the way we are, kind of, on a collision course with Mother Nature and with the environment. This book is amazing.
That's great. I'm not sure if
And
you.
so I'd like to talk about my book,
Of course,
if you
that's the
allow me.
most
If you allow me.
important aspect of this podcast
Yes.
today. Yes, please.
So I've come out with this first ever book by me because it was always there in the back of my mind that I would write a book one day,
The
but that
Mystic
one day
White
was not
Man.
coming. Yes. So the title of the book is The Quiet Man Who Learned to Speak. It's available on Amazon Kindle. And so you need to install the Amazon Kindle app on your mobile or laptop if you don't have the Kindle device. And then you just go into Amazon app or through browser, pay 99 rupees and read it. It's an easy read. It's a slice of my life exactly as it happened, my emotions. And it's not a very serious kind of a book. It's an easy read. And the response has been amazing. It's been overwhelming with the reviews, with the number of calls that I'm getting, the messages. So here, I would also like to say, Anand, why I'm doing this podcast with you, even though it's your first podcast and it's my first podcast, is the fact that you reached out to me on May 9th. And on May 9th, I had no clue that I would be publishing a book on May 13th. I had absolutely no clue because I came to know that I would be publishing a book on May 10th evening. And you had messaged me on WhatsApp on May 9th that will you, be, would you want to come on a podcast? And then we spoke, of course, and all of those things. And it's so strange. It's so amazing that, the universe kind of came together to get us together on this podcast.
And the best part is your book got released exactly on the day of your daughter's 22nd birthday, correct?
Yes,
15th of
yes, it went
May.
live. Yes,
See?
it went live on April. I'm saying.
So that's
So
the
it's
best
very
part.
close to my heart. Very close to my
Exactly.
heart. My first book goes live on my daughter's birthday. Very close to my heart.
The first book, the first podcast, and the first conversation between Anand versus Anand. So,
Yes.
so I think that that's the best part about it. So very quickly, Anand, if there were to be a background music when you walk into a training room, what should it be?
Again, such a wonderful question, Anand, because I love music. So when I was talking to you about my passion and my hobbies, I forgot to mention that I love listening to music, be it Bollywood,
Pink
be it,
Floyd.
oh yes, Pink Floyd is one of my
Ardent
favorite,
fan.
most favorite bands. And
See,
in
I've
the
done
book,
enough
there is,
background research about you, Anand.
thank you. Thank you so much. But in the book, actually, you'll find a very funny incident on, my tryst with Pink Floyd and stuff like that. But I'm not going to reveal that. But yes, there is a song by the band Pink Floyd in its album "Wish You Were Here," and the song name is "Shine on You, Crazy Diamond." And that's one of my favorite songs. So that is the background music that I'd really love to hear when I'm entering a training room or anywhere, actually.
All right. So, what is that one message that you'd like to give the youngsters today to still stay away from when they are joining the corporate? Just one short, crisp message. On
When they're joining the corporate world, they need to realize that when they're interacting with people, there may be people of different generations. So these guys are usually Gen Z, but there may be people who are millennials, who are even Gen X, and so on. And there is a difference. There is a difference in the way they think and we think, and so on. But let's kind of get together and understand each other. Is what my message is to the young, crowd. That yes, we love the way you think, but there are some good things that we also have. And if we could get together and invite those qualities from each other as a generation, I think it would be win-win for everyone.
fantastic. My final question to you is: what on earth can you not survive without? Leave alone your family, your passion, your etc. etc. What is it? One thing, just one thing that you can't live without on planet Earth.
Such a good
Love this.
question. What can I live without? So I was going to say that I cannot live without my indie Nico, but you said family, and he's part of my family. What can I not live with? I don't want to say it here because it's something that I shouldn't say here. But yeah, maybe I can't live without hope.
Fantastic. I mean, that's exactly what I'm looking for, Anand, because this podcast is not about anything else but giving hope to those who would love to go beyond PPTs. So, one another question. So, if there was no presentation application at all, Anand, how would you have conducted your training program?
Well, I hardly use presentations because I don't believe in death by PPT. So what I do is I kind of actually speak less in my trainings. I speak less. I ask a lot of questions because I think learning happens there when you share your experiences. When you're able to get people to start opening up and having conversations with you, that is when the real learning. Decks and PPTs you can get from Chat GPTs and Gamma and Google and anything.
There's a whole lot of
So
applications today. Yeah.
absolutely. So those are just in the background. But what I love to do is to engage, to ask questions, and questions that would make them think a little more. And so I love training. Each day is new for me. Even if I've conducted that training or facilitated training 10 times, when I'm doing it for the 11th time, the participants are new for me. So it's a whole new day, and I'm super excited, super kicked about going for that session. So that's how it is.
Your passion is quiet. I would say contagious. I must say, Anand, and I can feel it here, even though we are having a virtual conversation. Um, so, Anand, here's a very very important question that I want to ask you, which is, tell me what actually prompted you to write this particular book.
All right. So it's actually a long story, but I'm going to just cut it short. So I always wanted to write a book, but it was just one day I'll write the book, and that one day was never coming. I had this thought for the last 10 years. People in my life close to me have actually told me to write, but I haven't. But on May 10th, what happened is Dr. Hashim Adil, who is actually a LinkedIn expert, and I have actually done a course on LinkedIn optimization through him in the month of April or so, March, April or so. And on May 10th, he announced in our community of trainers that on May 11th, around 100 of us are going to publish our book on Amazon Kindle, and we are going to attempt a Guinness Book of World Records, like 100 people publishing on the same day. And we were like, what are you saying? How can you publish a book? Like, oh, you're saying this on 10th afternoon or something, and 11th, how can we publish a book? He said, we can do it. Just trust me. And so 104 of us, if I'm not mistaken, we sat into a virtual session on 6th, on 11th May at 6 p.m. And Dr. Hashim was trying to explain to us the process and all of those things. But at 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. in the night, none of us had published. It was a challenging proposition. So he took an extension and he said, don't worry, we'll do it on May 12th. And so May 12th, we sat. Now, out of 104, I think 75 odd were left because people had moved out. They'd probably not scheduled it for the next day, or they'd got frustrated. And then May 12th, again, 75 of us sat from 6 p.m. or something like that. And then I finished publishing my book at 1:30 a.m. on 13th May. And so from 6:30 in the evening, straight to 1:30 in the morning of the 13th, with hardly any break for even a tea, coffee, or a dinner break, all of us were sitting and, publishing our books. And I think by the time we finished at some 1:32 in the morning of May 13th, 50 or 60 of us published. So my entire credit for the idea of this book and also the implementation and the publishing should go to Dr. Hashim Adil, and huge indebtedness to him because of my dream coming true. And also, as I've already said, it went live on Amazon on 15th May, which was my daughter's birthday, her 22nd birthday. So huge thank you again to Dr. Hashim Adil. Without you, this would not have been possible.
Just one last thing, Anand, that I'd like you to share.
I'm enjoying this, so you can ask me more. I'm loving
it. Now, it's just one last thing, Anand, that if you were to have the power to bless the upcoming generation, what is it that you would bless them with, and who would you typically bless?
Again, amazing question. I think we need to meet and sit for a drink and talk about a lot of things, I think, Anand. But yes.
Turned around, otherwise I would have been slippered, but then nevertheless, let's hear it from you.
So, if I would want to bless, and I would want to bless everybody if I had the power, I'm nobody to actually bless anybody.
See, we'll have to keep it very categorical, Anand. The reason being, not everybody deserves your blessings because of certain reasons. Because some people are imbecile, some people are absolutely like laid back and not wanting to really, you get where I'm coming from. So what.
But I would beg to differ there, Anand.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would like to differ there, Anand, because if they're laid back or if they're doing something that is something that we should do. So Anand, again, a really good question about me having to bless somebody. First of all, I'm nobody to bless anybody. But since you asked that question, I would bless everyone, because whether our judgments kept aside, I would just want to bless everyone. And my only blessing would be that to take out all the divides that we have in terms of whom we follow in politics, which religion we follow. Because I believe that all humans are the same. Religion is man-made. Politics is something that's man-made. And we all, are all human beings first. And if we can live in harmony with each other, I think that is a blessing that I would give everyone. I have had friends of all religions, and they've all been fabulous human beings. So religion is not going to define whether a person is going to be a good human being or not.
Thank you so much for your time, Anand. I mean, I was just trying to say that, third time is the charm. So I think this is the third time that we're trying to attempt doing our podcast. I'm sure this one is going to definitely kick in. There is no two ways about it. So thank you so much for your time. So people, this is a humble request and also kind of a prerogative for each one of us watching this podcast that we buy The Quiet Man Who Learned to Speak. And we definitely make sure that we install Kindle. We buy the book. It's only 99 rupees. And it's only 130 pages odd, if I'm not wrong, Anand. And it's
110 or 100. Actually, just 100.
Acha,
100, exactly 100.
100 odd pages. Let's put it that way. So 100 odd
And it
pages.
takes only 1 hour. It takes 1 hour 10 minutes to read it. And
Okay,
my
brilliant.
request to everyone, 1 hour 10 minutes to read it. And my request to everyone is that if you read it and like it, please share your review. That really would mean a
No,
lot.
not just share the reviews, but also put it on your WhatsApp status and
Yes.
spread the word. That's very, very important because it's not about just Anand making money, but it's about the inspiration that he has had and he's trying to spread the word to everyone else. Right. So, with that, please do like, subscribe, and welcome back to our channel. And Anand, we're not going to let you off the hook. So, we are going to meet consecutively for further podcasts. Right. So, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day ahead. Bye bye.